He just rolled on my willy. Oh no, he's now on my lap. I'm Emma Massingale, horse trainer and adventurer. Good morning everybody. I am currently hiding in the stable with these two. Now before I introduce you to these two little cheeky chops, I felt like I should do a bit of an update video. Although it's February and in my head I always feel like nothing's going on because it's just horrendous. I just videoed this morning getting the horses in and filming the poor Connemara's in their field because it's just, you just won't believe it. We've never had it so wet here. And I know us Brits are really good about moaning about the weather, but I genuinely feel like I have a reason to moan about the weather. It has been horrendous. You're not coming to help today? You just sat there looking out?
You're right, Peg. Keep them under control, don't you, Peggers? You're hiding in here, out of the rain. Get in. Sid. Look at it. It's just disgusting. You're right, Albie.
Now, the Connies have been on really good form, bless them. And although we're always paddling around in the mud, come one dry spell and we're out there and we're riding, and yeah, they're just fantastic. I mean, you know, I never put any bridles or tack or saddles or anything on them, and you just hop on and off you go, and yeah, they love it. They just love it. And it's just such a nice feeling knowing that when the weather's really awful, that, you know, we're not under pressure to have to go and make them perform or anything like that. We can just ride out the winter and hope it passes soon. I mean, come on, it's nearly March. Surely it has got to improve soon. What else has been happening? Well, the puppies have grown. They are massive now. I'll get some footage of them to show you, but they're literally bouncing off the walls. The supermarket delivery people drove into my van and caved in the side of it. So I haven't had my van this week as it's gone to have all the sides popped out and made nice and shiny again. So they're literally climbing the walls because we haven't been able to go out for many long walks. I feel like I should introduce you to these two little cutie monkeys. So these two, this one here, this is Rupert, and that one there is called Wilfred. How cute are they? So they are two little miniature horses, and they've come from a stud down in Cornwall. I know, quite unbelievable. I haven't actually had to go very far to collect them. They are both yearlings. They're very cute, although they look a little bit bedraggled at the moment, I'm not gonna lie. Look at the state of them. That's because they've just come in. So the reason for extending my miniature team is that obviously it takes a very long time for them to grow up and be trained and to do all the stuff that we do at Liberty and all the adventures and things like that. So I thought with Albert and Ernie, and you know, now, I don't know, how old are they, 8 or 9 now? And you know, given how long it takes to sort of get them to that point, I thought, well, I'm gonna just yeah, grow my little kindergarten group. So we've got little Stuart as well, who you might have seen in my other video. So these three, so Stuart, Rupert and little Wilf here, will be sort of the baby gang who will not do loads, but just do little bits and bobs and try and pick up the skills as we go along. But they're just too cute. I mean, look at his face, look at it, look at it. So they're still entire colts, so we'll have to get them castrated soon. But we need the weather to improve and it not be so muddy. Now Wilf's black, but he's got a white tail and some white legs, which I'll get some footage of and show you. Hello. And little Rupert's a Palomino. They're a little bit shy when you're stood up and when you try and catch them, and they haven't had any head collars on, so we've got to teach them to lead and things like that. But I think the basis is there, and I think they're going to be really, really cute and really lovely additions. I'll show you some photos of them as foals, and they've just got the most gorgeous, gorgeous little faces. So I'm quite excited about these guys. Other big news is we have a 2 rising 3-year-old warm-blood stallion. So it was a bit of a bolt out of the blue, and ow, it's chewing my leg. Cheeky pony, bad pony. He's so cute. But I don't know, part of me really missed that eventing scene, you know, that going cross country and jumping and having a horse that was really bred for the job, you know, that was really designed to do that job. And Marcus was the most amazing horse, you know, amazing stallion, and I loved it when he was like living with his mares and foals, and he had, yeah, just the most fantastic temperament, and he would just, you know, love being with his little foals, and I'd ride him in the field bareback and reinless and cant around, and all his little foals would chase me around, and yeah, it just felt like a really happy herd. And now I've got my Connemara herd and I have my little mini herd, and I thought it'd be really lovely to introduce a stallion again and have some mares and foals, and potentially be able to do that sort of eventing style of riding again, which would be kind of good and a nice goal to work towards. So I set about trying to find a stallion. Now, that's not an easy task, I can tell you. I've been looking for quite a while, and all of a sudden I came across O'Sheen. So when I went to see O'Sheen, it was kind of a bit tricky because he hadn't really done anything with him, so he didn't really lead very well. He's quite unruly. He is quite unruly. I kind of use the term was, but he still is quite unruly. He literally dragged the owner across the yard in like a few different directions, and that was kind of my viewing. I couldn't really see or do anything else with him. So I kind of bought him just on a whim, on a hope and a prayer. And so a few days later, I set off to Ireland in the lorry. I thought I'd go and get him myself because, you know, when you get a new horse, the problem with, if you put him on a transporter and just ship them over from Ireland, you know, they often pick up bugs, and you know, because he's not handled and he doesn't lead. And I just thought, you know, for him and for his well-being and for the future, it would be probably better if I went and got him myself. And therefore, he doesn't have to be in a petition, he doesn't have to be tied up. And hopefully then, for the rest of my herd, he's not going to pick up any lurgs or bugs or anything, so that we don't have any risk of anyone getting any snots or coughs and sneezes over here, which was really important. And I'll put in the video here of going to get him. So I've just made it onto the ferry. It is now just before midnight. It's taken me about 7.5 hours to get here from home. It's a long way. I go out from Fishguard to Rosslare, and then I'm going to drive on up from Rosslare. I just heard this evening though they're not taking horses on the ferry tonight, which is okay because obviously I'm empty on the way out, as we're going to pick up O'Sheen. But I'm a bit worried about how I'm going to get home. As per usual, nothing is straightforward and simple. I've got about 4 hours, hopefully, to get some sleep, and just recharge the batteries. I've just had something to eat, and I'm just so excited. I feel really, really excited about having him, and it feels like a whole new chapter. Well, got off the ferry and made my way up to where O'Sheen lives, and the road's terrible, really, really bad snow and really narrow roads. Just took so long. It was only supposed to take a couple of hours, and it's taking me like 3.5. And I just heard from the ferry port that they're not taking horses on the ferry tonight either. So I've got to try and find a different way home. So I think I'm going to try. I've rung Dublin port, and I think they're going to take horses from there if the ferry goes. So I think worst case scenario, I'm going to have to get the 9 o'clock tonight ferry, which will mean like hell, because it means I've got to drive. Well, it's gonna be all day and then all night as well, so I don't know how we're gonna work that one, but anyway. Or I might try and jump ship, as they say, and get on an Irish ferries one, which goes I think at 2:30 this afternoon, if they're taking horses. That's the question, because when there's too much swell they don't take the horses on the boat, understandably. And actually the crossing last night was really, really rocky, like as rocky as I've ever been on it. So I'm a little bit nervous about loading him up and then getting him stuck in the lorry for hours and hours and hours. But I think I've definitely decided I'm not going to put him in a petition. I'm just going to have him, I've bedded the whole back of the lorry down, so I'm just going to let him have the whole thing. And then that way he can be loose and wander around, and I can give him hay and water easily. And then if it does take a lot longer than I think, then at least he's not contained in a petition, having to be worried about being tied up and all that stuff. So we have a plan. Well, I think we're now on plan B or C. But one way or the other I will get home. So I'm just sat in the village now waiting for his owner to come and meet me before we go to the farm where he is.
No, he was only up in the horse box. He was only up in the... Give him a minute, he'll be alright. Great, you're brilliant. You're brilliant.
Let you out the other way in a sec.
Yeah. Oh, you're brilliant. Oh, you're brilliant. You're brilliant.
The Lord says I thought he'd go one side or the other.
Oh, you're brilliant. You're brilliant. Oh, you're brilliant. Yeah, you're brilliant. You're brilliant.
Hello. Yeah, buddy. You're travelling so well, aren't you? Being a good boy. My little travel buddy. You're such a good girl, aren't you, Pinkies? You like coming in the lorry for a road trip, don't you? We're waiting at the ferry port. Made it onto the ferry. I now really need to get some sleep because it's a very long drive from Holyhead all the way down to Devon. It's going to take me, I reckon, probably about 8 hours. So I think this ferry gets in at about 6 o'clock. So it's going to take me till late.
Okay. Angus, come here. Angus.
Oh my god. Hello. I draw that leg. Now I've got a lid on. I feel like that might be more sense. I remember this feeling. Like, what have I done? Right, hello. Come here. Right, I'm going to own that corner. I am going to own that. No, I'm not. Hey, hey, hey. Oh. Yeah. 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 Good boy. Hey, hey, hey. Hey. Good boy. Hey, hey, hey. Good lad. Good boy, good boy, good boy. No. Thank you. Right, I'm owning this corner. God, it's been a while. Very good fella. Hey. Right. No. No. Boy. Good boy. I know. Okay. Good boy. That's a good boy. Right. No, not that him. Good boy. Good boy. No. Here. Right. No. Good boy. You just brushed your head on, didn't you? Longer. Good boy. No, back. Good, that's it. Good, that's alright. It's alright. I'm going to open the door. Again, I'm not going to let him just plough his way out. And he has been in a barn for 2 months, so like we have to appreciate that this isn't really, I don't think, him, but more of just like, I'm cooped up and I'm excited and there's loads of horses everywhere. Good boy. Good lad. Just blocking him just so he just knows. Good boy, that's it, good boy. Well done. Hello, fella. Good boy. What a good boy. That's it. See, you're a big chicken, really. Good boy. Okay, just going to run down the toe up there. Just bump that rope there, just to remind him that actually, like I'm not teaching him to lead just yet, but if we want him to do things that they can't drag me. No. No. Good lad. Good boy. No. Good, yes, good boy. Good boy. Good boy. Just make him wait. Good boy. Like that. Good lad. Good boy. Good boy. Good lad. He's quite full on, isn't he? You surely don't fancy the donkey? Way too beautiful. Good boy. Good boy. Good. Atta fella. Atta good boy, aren't you? Yes. You're a good boy. Good boy. Okay, so you've seen the arrival of Oisin, and you can see he's pretty full on. I mean, he's a pretty full on chap. I suppose, you know, I mean, you'd expect him to take a little while to settle down, so we'll just have to see how it goes. I mean, I think my initial feeling is that he's a really lovely horse. I mean, he's beautiful and really athletic and clever and super switched on and amazing. But he is really, really stallion-y. He's very, very colty, and I guess I feel a little bit concerned about his attitude and sort of panic and stress that he's got to do with the other horses. I mean, he's really worried about them. I mean, he can't switch off for a second. And Jeremy and I have been umming as to whether, you know, he's just going to be way too rough. What are you doing? Cheeky chops. Chew hay, not me. Yeah, I guess, you know, he's way too rough to put with any of my geldings. I mean, I you know, I love all my horses. I don't want them to be beaten up or bullied by a unruly colt. I mean, that's just not okay. So I was kind of hoping that if he was, you know, next to one of them in the stable, one or two of them in the yard and in the stable, and it was the same ones, that he'd just sort of settle. So yeah, kind of a little bit of a shame that he's as worried about the other horses as he is. You know, you kind of really got two options, haven't you? He just rolled on my willy. Oh no, he's now on my lap. Don't mind me. Oh my gosh. Oh, look, you can see his white tail. Oh no, he's down again, look. Now rolling on my welly boot. What are you doing? So anyway, back to Oisin. I've got to be serious here. These guys are just hilarious. This is why I surround myself with miniatures, because they're just so funny. Yeah, Oisin. Well, yeah, so I'm kind of, I'm really hoping that he'll just settle, and in time, I mean, I've had him here now, I don't know how long, well, I don't know, 3 weeks maybe, and he's not really showing any signs so far of letting up. But we're keeping an open mind, and I've got a couple of geldings next to him, and I kind of just try and move him around, and he's been out in the field a bit, and I mean, he doesn't settle in the field, he just runs up and down constantly, like up and down, pacing around, really worrying where everyone is. So at the moment he's spending most of his time out in the yard and just putting him out in the yard so he stretches his legs, and obviously doing a bit of work with him as well, but also just trying to get him to sort of settle into I don't like to say the word routine, I'm never sure that's a good idea with horses, but for him I think maybe the routine will help him, because he'll just settle and realise what's going to happen, and that it's all okay. Failing that, he's going to turn out to be a fantastic gelding, isn't he? I mean, that's the bottom line. We have choices here, which is really important. And I think it's really important with horses not to get so set on an idea that you actually just miss, an opportunity for a horse to have a fantastic life. Even if it's not the life I necessarily chose and wanted for him, if it turned out that he was going to be better as a gelding, these two are definitely going to be better as geldings. Look at them, they're so cheeky. Yeah, we'll have to see how it goes with it. Oh, he's going down again. He's going down again. He's like a little puppy. Oh, Root. Look, he's now sat there. You can see why I thought he was going to be a good addition, can't you? So cute. He's so cute. So cute. Oh, look at his old lip going. Look at it. Oh, look. Oh, he's going to make my job easy, isn't he? Look, he already knows how to sit. Oh, he flopped. So cute. Anyway, that's kind of us caught up to speed update. Hope everyone's surviving winter. Hope you're all managing okay. Hope all of your horses are all right. If you enjoy our videos, remember, don't forget to hit subscribe and click that bell thing. I think that notifies you all when when I upload a new video. And we've got lots of new videos going to come out. I want to do the videos on happy herds and how we can help create this sort of happy environment, and I think with the herds I've got now, I've got the perfect opportunity to share with you guys what I've learned over the years. I'm not sure if it's right or wrong, it's just going to be my experience, and obviously with having 22 horses here, I can share with you what we've done, the setups we've got, and how we've done lots of enrichment in their fields to hopefully make sure they have as happy a life as possible. But we do need to survive winter first, so yeah, fingers crossed we get some sunshine soon. Bye!